Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm creating this super gorgeous, soft matte, glam, everyday makeup look. It's so easy to recreate. I love how it came out, so I really hope you guys enjoy. But for now, sit down at your vanity, let's put some makeup on together, and let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so the first thing that I always do before I apply any makeup is I prep my skin. And I have really dry skin, so I always use loads of moisturizer and primers just so that throughout the day my foundation doesn't cling to any dry spots. So what I use is a product that my friend recently put me on to. It's by the Inkey List. It's the polyglutamic acid. This stuff is 4 times stronger than hyaluronic acid, which is crazy because hyaluronic acid already does such a good job at moisturizing. But I always start with this and then I go in with a moisturizer on top. One that I love to use with the Inkey List polyglutamic acid is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I'm almost out of this because I love it so much. I use it almost every single day. It's not only a moisturizer, but it's a primer as well. So it's perfect for people with dry skin, or if you just want that extra bit of moisture and glow under your makeup. So I am just going to put this on. It smells so good too. It just is so refreshing on your face. It's amazing. So lastly, for skin prep, I'm going to use the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. You just need a little bit and you put it on your lips and it's so moisturizing. I wear this all throughout the day. I prefer this over any chapstick. But yeah, that is my skin prep. Now after skin prep, I always do my eyebrows. I like to do my eyebrows first before foundation because I find that when there's foundation on my eyebrow before I apply a brow product, it'll just slide around. It won't grip onto my skin or my eyebrow hairs as well. One that I really like lately is the Kai Brow. This is in the shade Soft Medium. I'm just gonna put some hair clips in before I do this so that I don't get makeup in my hair. I always start out at the end of my brow, almost at the arch right here. I just create the shape that I want. I fill in any sparse areas along the way, and then I'll go in underneath and do the same thing. One thing that I like to do as well is extend the end of my eyebrow just a little bit. So if you take a pencil, anything, and put it right at the end of your nose, it will line up with your nose, your eye, and your eyebrow. So it's like a perfect line, and it just helps with symmetry. I learned that trick from my grandma. Now I go into the other half of my eyebrow. I just ever so slightly flick up my pencil at the beginning of my brow just to create kind of hair-like strokes. Then I just do the same to the other side. Once my eyebrows are done, I'll just go in with some concealer and clean up the bottom and the top. I don't go crazy with this, but I do prime my lids with concealer. I don't like to use eyeshadow primers. I feel like they just never work for me. But using a concealer as your eyeshadow base cancels out any color that you want to reduce before applying your eyeshadow. So everyone has natural discoloration on their lids and you can see veins, and using concealer just helps to cover that up. And once it's applied, I just go in ever so slightly with my beauty blender. I don't go too close to my eyebrow. I'm mainly pressing this on my lid. I am going to set my lids with powder, and I just use the One Size Beauty Turn Up the Base powder, and this is in the shade Fair 4NR. And I just set my lids and then a little bit over my eyebrows. The reason that I set my eyebrows with powder first before I use gel is because this just helps to set the pencil in place and not move around. So there we go. And now it's time for eyeshadow. All you need is a neutral eyeshadow palette. The one that I'm going to be using today is the Morphe 350 palette. You can see that mine is very used. So I'm just going to start with this neutral shade on the top here. This is a great color for a transition shade. Alright, so I go in with the transition color just right in my crease. Transition shades never have to be super precise or anything. I suggest a similar color to your bronzer or your contour. I learned this tip from Ariel as well. You just want to kind of focus a little bit of that eyeshadow right here in the inner corner and bring it up into your eyebrow. This will help start your nose contour so that everything is combined and there's no harsh edges. Alright, now that the transition shade is on, you want to go in with a little bit of a deeper shade. You want to take it just right in the crease here. You can see I'm literally putting my brush in my crease, and if I open my eye, it's in my eye socket basically. And you want to move that around ever so slightly. Blend it out in the corner here. And just blend it into your transition shade. And a big tip that I can give is just to continuously blend until you can't see any harsh edges from one color until the next. You always also want to start out with very little product on your brush because you can always build up the product, but if you start out with too much, it's very difficult to get rid of it and blend it out correctly. I'm just deepening my crease with this color right on kind of the outer half of my eye specifically. And then again, just blending it in kind of towards my lashes and then out towards my eyebrow. And if you feel like you need a little bit more blending, you can go in with your transition brush again and just give that color a little bit of help to blend it out. And now we're going to go in with one more color on a smaller brush. Again, I go in with an even darker shade, just a little bit. Tap off the excess. And then go in right on this outer V here. And I do the same thing. I blend it into that crease shade, that transition shade. And I'm also taking it just a little bit on my lid. I would say about halfway on my lid. And you blend it into your eyelashes, up into the crease, and out towards your eyebrow. Alright, I zoomed you guys in just a little bit more because now that our crease and transition shades are all on, I'm going to do just a little bit of a soft cut crease. How I do that is I take the same concealer brush that I used before and the same concealer right from my inner corner and just start mapping out a cut crease. And then I end just about halfway where we ended that darkest shade of eyeshadow. And I tap the rest on my lid. And you really don't need a lot of concealer for this, just enough to cover up the extra eyeshadow that's on your lid. So you can see I'm just tapping it on. And then there's a little bit of a harsh line right here where the concealer ends. So what I like to do is I take the brush that I used for that second eyeshadow shade and I just tap it and blend it out so that there's a seamless transition. And there you go. It's super easy cut crease. Something that helps me too when I do cut creases is to take my mirror and put it below so that I'm looking down and creating this shape, because when you look up you can't get into your crease, if that makes any sense at all. I'm trying, guys. I'm still learning at this, so I'm still figuring out lighting and the best way to teach everyone my little tips. Since it is a cream product, you want to set it. I just take any flat brush and any neutral bone color, so then I'll set that concealer in place. Just blend it out a little bit, and there you go. Eyeshadow is done. You can stop here, or you can add darker colors or a glitter on your crease or your inner corner. I think I might add a little bit of a wing, but I'm gonna do that off camera because there's absolutely no way that I can focus. Now that our skin is already prepped, we can just go right in with foundation. I am going to be using the Dior Forever Skin Glow in the shade 2N and the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk in the shade 3. These two combined are my favorite mascaras. Favorite foundations. I love these together. I then just mix it with a little brush and put whatever is left on my face. And then I use a foundation brush, and I'll just go in with a little bit and apply it. So now that I have applied my foundation with a brush, I go back in with my damp beauty blender and I just pat over everything and really blend it into my skin. I will do this literally for a few minutes just so that it looks so seamless, and this really pushes it into your pores and just makes your makeup look flawless. I definitely recommend this little tip. We need to add some color, so I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. Cream Contour Palette today. I just go in with a little stippling brush, then I start to tap that on with the brush and kind of form exactly what shape I want for my contour. And then I'll do the same thing on my forehead. Just on the outer part, because I don't want to shorten my forehead. I just want to make my face look thinner. So I'm putting it mainly on the outer two sides. And then a little bit of nose contour. So I'll put it underneath, and then with the side of my brush, I'll go down the sides. And then under my lip, this creates a shadow and makes your lips look more plump. And now that we're looking absolutely crazy, we're gonna blend this out with our beauty blender. And when I blend out this nose contour, I'm kind of blending it all the way up right to my eyebrow so that it connects to that shadow. Now that we are looking blended and snatched, it's time for cream blush. You know I love this step. I'm just going to use this cream Stila palette and an Ariel brush, and then apply that right above my contour and a little bit on my cheek. Alright guys, my camera battery is about to die, so I need to charge that for a little bit. But while that's charging, I'm just gonna throw on some concealer and then set my under eyes, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I just finished setting my face with the Kylie Cosmetics loose setting powder in the shade Soft Pink and the One Size Beauty Turn Up the Base powder in Fair N, which is what I use to set my lids. And now it's time to bronze and add more blush, of course. I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula bronzer. This is something that I've used for years. Clearly, it's barely there anymore, but it smells so good. It smells like coconuts and I love it. This is such a perfect shade for me too because it's not too dark and it's not too cool toned. I love it. I'm using, again, Kylie Cosmetics. This is the shade Winter Kissed. It's so gorgeous. It's like a blue toned blush. Ah! Oh my goodness, my light just fell. Oh my god, it keeps falling. Alright, and since I'm not adding any highlighter, I'm gonna set my face now. One of my go-tos lately is the One Size Beauty Until Dawn setting spray. It dries down instantly also when you spray it on your face, so your face doesn't get all wet and look like your makeup's just gonna fall off. But one thing about this is it has such a strong scent. It smells like hairspray, like even still. It's a lot for me. Alright, you guys, I added some mascara and just a little bit of a lash on my outer corner. I used the Ardell Texture Eyes, and this is in the shade, this is in the style 575. I always find myself cutting up my lashes into small pieces when I use them. I just think they look better instead of one giant strip lash. Anyways, we have one last step left, which is lips. Since we used the lip mask at the beginning, my lips are all moisturized and ready for some lipstick. So I'm going to use the Kylie Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Bare. I'm using the exact same combo that I used in my last video, the Kylie and the Lorac Girl Next Door. I would use my KKW Nude 1 liner. That's my all-time favorite, but I don't know where it is right now. It's in one of my purses, but whatever. I have no mirror also, so I'm like looking to the side. Let me grab one. I recently learned that you want to match your blush color and your lip color. Not completely, but say you're doing a red lip, you would want to use more of an orangey red blush instead of a bright pink blush like this, so that it matches and your makeup just all flows together. Alright everyone, and there we have it. This gorgeous soft matte glam everyday makeup look. This look is so universal. You can tone it down for everyday use, or you can even add more, add highlighter, add glitter, darken up the colors, and use it for an evening look. This is one of my favorites that I do. It's my go-to, and I really hope you guys like it. It's so easy to recreate, so I really hope you guys do, and send me pictures because I want to see. But for now, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!